Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be jumping right into the 9th episode of my Stargirl Easter egg series. Now today's episode was Brainwave, the 9th episode of the season, gave us an in-depth backstory, I guess, to Brainwave and a bit of foreshadowing to Brainwave Jr. and a few important points for the series. I really enjoyed the episode. Some great moments, and we'll explore them all in this video. So, without further ado, let's jump in to 5 Easter eggs from Stargirl episode 9 that you might have missed. Now, as I mentioned just before, this episode is called Brainwave, so true to the namesake, we got an in-depth, massive origin, basically, for Brainwave, and it's, I thought it was done really well. Basically, how it went down was Henry Sr., Henry King, was a scientist, and he was doing experiments on the brain, and, yada yada yada. Anyway, the university or the lab cut his funding, so he began to experiment on himself, which basically happens with a lot of these characters. And he starts to have extreme headaches, the same headaches we're starting to see Brainwave Jr., Henry Jr. have at the moment. So basically, he films a tape a day, every single day that since he's had his powers. From the day he was leaving his lab, and a robber comes out and basically tries to steal from him and then tries to kill him, and Brainwave's reading his thoughts, no one will miss this guy, he's about to shoot him. And Henry's scared, he's whimpering, he's completely no confidence, and causes the guy to have a seizure and kills the robber. And basically from then on, we get the Brainwave we know today, and every single day he films these tapes, he's diving deeper into his own madness. He hates people. He talks about people and how they think about women on the subway, and caused a would-be sexual assaulter to have a brain aneurysm and die. And he dives deeper and deeper into the villainy persona that we know Brainwave to have in the episodes we've seen him in. Obviously, at the moment, he's in a coma. But I really enjoyed seeing all the tapes. I think it's such a Brainwave thing to do. Film, day 1, day 2, right up to the 100. So, no, I thought that was a really good way to do his origin. Now, speaking of Brainwave, we now move on to Brainwave Jr.'s arc in this. Now, of course, Brainwave Jr., they all fit in somehow. So, we get Brainwave Jr., as you know, he discovered the tapes, and he's been trolling through them day by day, watching all of them, watching his dad's descent into evilness, and he begins to feel the same way. He begins to have the same thoughts, people are monsters, and he begins to swirl down the spiral that is villainy. And after this, Henry is confronted by Courtney Yolanda, and he's in his dad's hotel room, and he's just sitting there, and he's, in his sorrows like he normally is. And anyway, this nurse comes in, and he's like, la-ti-da-ti-da, big smiles, And Henry reads his mind, because his powers are becoming more fine-tuned as the episodes are going on. This episode was no different. Reads his mind. I never did like Dr. King, And he reads his mind, and Henry's pissed off. It only proves his point that people are monsters. And then, to make matters worse, this attorney comes in, claiming to be Henry King Sr.'s lawyer. And I thought that was weird, because ISA, they'd have all their own lawyers. Probably the Gambler, Stephen Sharp, would have someone. Anyway, I think this guy might have just been preying on Henry's vulnerability, I should say. And he says, this is what your dad wanted me to do, just sign here, I'll take him off life support, I'll take all the money, Anyway, Henry reads his mind. I really need the money. Come on, kid, sign it. And the last time, Henry just got pissed. This time, he kills him. Henry causes the dodgy attorney to have a literal brain aneurysm, and he dies. Now, this is really important because this is the turning point for the character of Brainwave Jr. / Henry King Jr. This is the turning point for whether he becomes a villain or whether he becomes a hero. There's obviously still hope that Henry Jr. will become a hero as he's been confronted by Yolanda and Courtney. And the way this series goes, I think he's going to become a hero. I don't think they're going to dramatically reset the character. But this is a really important moment for Henry Jr. as a character, and I thought that was a really, really special moment for the series. Very important. Now, this was my hands down favourite Easter egg of the series so far. I love my keypads, you know that. I love my movie posters, you know that too. But hands down, it's got to go to the 7 Soldiers of Victory. Now, we've mentioned this in the previous episodes, my halfway review, I think it was episode 8 or episode 7 when The Shining Knight was, I think it was 7, where The Shining Knight was actually first introduced. Now we've got confirmation that in this Stargirl universe, the 7 Soldiers of Victory, or 8 Soldiers of Victory, actually existed, and that is so cool. Basically, I'll put the photo up on the screen because shout out to the Stargirl after show podcast. They have all these photos and they are so cool. All the movie posters, all the JSA photographs, all of this, and they have this photo. And in this photo, we have basically Sylvester Pembleton. We have the Star Spangled Kid, obviously. Then we have Pat, Stripesy, and the Shining Knight. But who we do have here, we have a Green Arrow, we have a Speedy, a Crimson Avenger, a Wing, and of course, Vigilante, Greg Saunders. I was so excited. I really want to see the 7 Soldiers of Victory in this series. And more importantly, I want to see Vigilante. I don't think they're going to go anywhere near Green Arrow or Speedy. But what they will go near is the Vigilante, the Crimson Avenger, Wing. You know, the people who haven't been done before. Whereas, obviously, Green Arrow and Speedy are Young Justice, Arrow, the Arrowverse, you know, the movies, all of that. So, I really want to see them. Basically, the 7 Soldiers of Victory, they're just a team of heroes with no powers. Everyday G.I. Joes going about their business, stopping Dragon King, and doing missions. So I thought that was really cool. I love the 7 Soldiers of Victory. I love Vigilante. And I can't wait to see more of them as the episode progresses. As we know, the episode 11 is called The Shining Knight. So we will certainly either go into more backstory for him or the 7 Soldiers of Victory. So I am very, very excited. Now here's where we start to move into the nitty-gritties. The real Easter eggs. The real parts of the episodes. The really important parts of the series. And this is probably one of the biggest surprises I saw. Now, I've been having you for a lend here for the last but leaving out important bits so that I can stretch out my list, if you know what I mean. So, I did mention that Henry Jr. did kill that attorney, that dodgy bloke. But I did not mention that once he does, Brainwave wakes up. He wakes up from his coma. He sits up and he goes, "Junior, what's going on?" In a really happy, innocent voice, which leads me to believe this is not that Brainwave we knew before. Whether he's got memory loss, whether he's a hero now, whether he's... I don't know. But they wouldn't have included that small detail of his voice changing and the mean, stern father figure removed if it wasn't important. So, Brainwave has woken up, and that, I don't know, there is literally nothing more to say than Brainwave has woken up. What does this mean for Stargirl? I don't know. What does this mean for Courtney? Brainwave knows who she is. Who knows? Who knows? And now, of course, the Easter egg, the reference, the part of the series we knew was coming right from the very start. Barbara finally discovered who and what is going on. Now, for a bit of backstory, in this episode, and previous episodes, Icicle has really taken a liking to Barbara. Handsome fella, they're all going out on business trips together. Obviously nothing's happened, but you can tell Icicle is really missing his wife and really wants to find love with Barbara. So even though Pat is obviously there. Anyway, Icicle comes over for dinner with his mother and father, who are some of the evilest people I know, honestly. They look so evil. And of course, Cameron. Cameron's a good bloke. I like Cameron. Anyway, they're having dinner. They're all nice. Courtney's, a bit all flustered. La-ti-da-ti-da. Anyway, Courtney gets some dessert out of the oven, I believe. And steaming hot, but he brings it. And this was such a cool moment. Well done to the directors, the producers, whoever made this little thing. And gives the dish to Icicle, and he just grabs it. It's boiling. He would have melted his fingers off, but no. This is Icicle we're talking about. And this is the moment Courtney just goes, oh my god. And then she goes, Pat, I've burnt something. Anyway, they run off into the kitchen. Courtney's decided that this is Icicle. Pat's a bit skeptical. All of this. Anyway, that's that. That's an important part, so I thought I'd include it. Barbara's sort of, what's going on here? Anyway, we move into Barbara. Courtney and Pat are downstairs having a chat about everything, as they normally do at night. They're carrying the cosmic staff, and who walks in and goes, oh my god, what is that? Barbara. Barbara knows. Barbara knows. And that is where we bring the episode and our video to a close. Thank you for watching our 9th episode of our Stargirl Easter eggs, Brainwave. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you did, make sure to hit like, click subscribe, and make sure you keep the notifications on so you never miss out on one of my in-depth Stargirl Easter egg videos. Make sure to like and subscribe, and follow my Instagram, jloz.dc. The link will be in the description for daily DC facts, awesome moments from the comics, and everything in between. Make sure to subscribe to IcyShield25 and Glider Guy. The links will be in the description. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.